Hi there, Israa. So it's your first set of essays. Let's see what you've done here, shall we? Whether schools should be more fun or have a strictly academic role is becoming a matter of debate. In my opinion, I believe that schools must have a flexible strategy to combine both learning and entertainment, as this will encourage students to enjoy learning and enhance their mental status. In this essay, I will further explain these reasons and support them with examples. Okay, so everything is really good here. Just you have to make sure that you capitalize your I's and also careful with your spelling of whether you're missing an H. Okay, and let's move on. Firstly, joining education with fun will motivate students and make them want to learn. When they feel entertained at school, they will like it and eventually be enthusiastic and eager for learning. As an example, recent research by the Ministry of Education, this should be capital M, capital E, in the UK, showed that 75% of students, that 75% of students who love their school have now continued their studies beyond university. Therefore, E, applying teaching methods that are more enjoyable has a positive effect on the relationship of students with education. Okay, that's fine. Let's see. Secondly, joyful times at school have a good influence on the psychological status of students. Psychological spelled wrong. It's P-S-Y-C-H-O. Schools are usually associated with stress from studying and exams that can lead to depression. When students are given some entertainment classes, this will counterpart this negative result. Okay, entertainment classes is wrong because that implies that there are classes on entertainment, and that's not what you mean. You mean entertaining. And then counterpart is wrong. I think you mean counteract. Then capital A recent paper published by UNICEF, NOVA, indicated that 65% of students who had attended strictly academic secondary schools were diagnosed with depression in their adulthood. For this reason, school must combine learning with fun. Okay, in conclusion, entertaining students at school is very essential, with an E, not an I, to attract them to study and eliminate stress related to exams. Okay, for your first essay, it's good. There's a lot of elements I like. You've really followed the template from the course quite well. So good job there. In your future essays, I'd like to see you develop your ideas a little more, because this did feel a little short to me. But as you get the hang of it and as you learn to kind of play around with the template a little bit, I'm sure this will come naturally, but for your first essay, it's good. Let's take a look at the one about reading. Let's see what you said. Child development is the expression here, okay? So child development is mainly influenced by the types of activities children do, such as reading and playing. Some people argue that when a child gets involved in an amusing task, this has more positive effects on his development than just reading. I personally agree that active participation in playing enhances perception and motor skills. What happened here? It's like you forgot to finish the rest of the sentence. Firstly, reading a book is really useful, but when a child plays, every part of him is involved, starting from his brain to all of his body parts. This promotes both cognitive development and motor skills enhancement. For instance, recent study in Japan showed that children who spent 5 hours playing in a park each week are found to have advanced perception of surroundings and precise, careful with your typing, fine motor skills than their counterparts have. Therefore, playing is really important for child development. Okay, this is fine, it's good, it's accurate, it's everything. I'm not really crazy about this expression. It's really important. It just doesn't feel terribly academic to me. So instead I would like also really useful. There's so many other ways to express these ideas, so I'd like you to try experimenting with some of them. So, for example, Firstly, reading a book is highly beneficial. Okay? Here you could have said, therefore playing is absolutely vital. Alright, so you can see that essentially we're saying the same thing, but the level of the language just goes up a notch, and that will definitely help you with your lexical resource score. Alright, let's move on. Secondly, no capital E here. Engaging with others in games promotes better communication skills. No A here. A child will need to listen and speak with children. We never use the word kids in an IELTS essay, either test 1 or test 2, unless it's an informal letter. You always use children. So a child will need to listen and speak with other children while playing. As a result, both his understanding and communication will improve. An example for that is the latest research published by the American Academy of Pediatricians, which indicates ES, that 30% of the child's ability to communicate with others is learned through playtime. Okay, therefore what? Alright, consequently what? Where is the conclusive statement here? To sum it up, reading is an essential element. Careful with your spelling for both these words. For a child's development in many fields, yet a greater part of the milestones is reached and acquired through joyful playing mainly. Okay, it's fine. So Israa, you've got some nice elements to your writing. I can see that you're doing well with the template, although you missed a sentence here. Again, this felt a little short to me. I would be interested in a word count to see how long this is. Perhaps it would have felt a little longer if you had included the conclusive statement here. Also, I don't know what happened here. That was a little strange. So, but for your first attempts, they're really quite good. You have to be careful with your typing or your spelling. There are a lot of errors there, and there were things that happened with missing S's. There were wrong plurals, wrong singulars, so that was an issue. I want you to kind of revise some of these rules when we use plurals, when we use singulars. Make sure that you've got subject-verb agreement. Make sure that your pronouns match your subjects and your objects and your nouns in general. So you have to be a little more cautious with some of those grammar issues. The good news is that these grammar mistakes didn't reduce the coherence of the essay. I understood everything that you were trying to say, so that's really important. But they were pretty consistent throughout the essays that you had these sort of mistakes peppered throughout both of your writing tasks, okay? So be aware of them, try to revise them, try to be a little more cautious with some of these mistakes. Okay, so now what do you need to do? You need to correct these essays based on the video correction that we've provided. And then send that back to us. The next thing you have to do is you have to create an error correction list. And what that is you take the errors that were pointed out in this video correction, you write them down, and then next to each one, just write down what the corrected version should be. Okay, you're going to add to that list with every subsequent video correction you receive. Send that back to us as well so that we can make sure you're doing it. And then, of course, write your next set of essays. Try to do all of this within the next day or so you can really apply everything you've been learning. Okay? So you've got a handful of things you need to do. I'll let you get to that. And I'm looking forward to seeing your next set of essays. So best of luck to you.